Hey yo, what is up FPG fam? Further here, and for today's video I did want to talk about the future characters that will be coming to the global side of Tower of Fantasy. We just had Lyn release as of recently, and I believe the overall general consensus is that people are happy with the way Lyn is turned out and how she performs on the global side in terms of the rebalancing and the scale to fit the global landscape. I believe most people are happy with the way she turned out, and this led me to want to talk about future characters moving forward after Lyn. So we should be getting Lyra, Tianlang, Annabella, Alice, Yuumi, and Fenrir. Now, in terms of what order, we'll have to wait and see. I'm not sure if they're going to stick with the same order as CN or if they're going to switch things up for the global side, as well as there was rumored that a Nemesis rerun could be happening. Now, if that's true or not, I'm not entirely sure, and when that would happen, if it is true, I'm not entirely sure as well, meaning, or just to clarify, if Lyra would come first and then a Nemesis rerun, or a Nemesis rerun and then Lyra. Not entirely too sure. I did also want to speak about this because I know people are kind of confused on what they should be focusing on, and you know, with the accelerated rate that we are on the global side, people have a hard time trying to prioritize. So hopefully this video helps, and hopefully you get something from it. If you do, go ahead and drop a like, sub if you're new. We're on our way to 40k. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Let's get into it. So we had Lyn just drop. Now, a lot of this may be predicated on if you pulled for Lyn or not. So for example, if you did pull for Lyn, then you know what you're doing moving forward for the most part. You probably know what you're prioritizing. And once again, it also is predicated on what element you're focusing on and trying to main, as well as what your secondary might be. But if you pulled for Lyn, I think you have a good idea of what you're going for. If you skip Lyn, you might be a little confused on what you should be saving for. Now, let's go ahead and start with the Volt team, because there could be a Nemesis rerun coming. And we have Nemesis, we have Tianlang, and then we have Fenrir coming. I think what would be the most advantageous route to go is if you didn't get Nemesis, I think grabbing Nemesis on the rerun would be fantastic, because Nemesis is still double S tier. She is a core integral part to the Volt team, and I think she is a fantastic asset to have on your account if you're a Volt main. So I think Nemesis is a must-have. And then after that, you may want to focus on Fenrir. Now, I don't know too much about Fenrir, but I've been hearing that she's fantastic for the Volt team. So this may be a route that you skip Tianlang and you go for Fenrir. Now, that is if you're a free-to-play player or light spender, and you need to prioritize and focus down on what you're trying to do. If you're a Giga Whale, you're going to be getting every character moving forward no matter what. If you are just a regular whale, then you are whaling for the main element. You're going to get Tianlang and Fenrir, so it doesn't matter, right? And then if you're just like a dolphin, then you'll still be able to get Tianlang and Fenrir, I believe, because of the spacing that should be for these characters. Even with the accelerated pace that we are on the global side, you should be able to still get Tianlang and Fenrir if you're dolphining, right? Which meaning that you get battle pass, you top up every now and then, right? Maybe not get every single pack, but you do top up at every patch to get the character. So that will be a dolphin. But if you're a free-to-play player, light spender, I think the more advantageous route is to grab Nemesis, skip Tianlang, and then focus on Fenrir. That would probably be the best route. That is for Volt. Now, let's go ahead and speak about physical, because physical could be next, showcasing Lyra, right? Now, at that point, I think it's a pretty easy decision. If you skip Lyn, then focus on Lyra, and hopefully you have Claudia already, so you can do Lyra, Claudia, and then Shiro, and I think that team is going to be fantastic. And then you can focus on Yuumi down the road, right? And you should have enough time to save for Lyra and be able to get Yuumi in the future. Now, if you're asking me between Lyra and Yuumi, once again, I don't have too much experience with Yuumi, but I think Lyra is going to be the more advantageous simulacrum to grab because of all the benefits that she's bringing to the physical team, and she's a healer, which the physical team could really use if you're doing Claudia and Shiro. So I think Lyra is going to be the best route and the better character to grab. And then you should be able to save and get Yuumi down the road, but we'll have to wait and see, right? That'll be for the physical team. Now let's go ahead and talk about the Flame team. For the Flame team, it's going to be interesting. You have Annabella, so obviously that should be the only character that you're focusing on. But you may not even have to. I mean, it just really depends, right? You have Ruby. There's a lot of Flame characters. You have Ruby, Huma, we have King, we have Zero, and we have Cobalt B. So it really just depends on what you have on your account. I believe Annabella is just going to be a pickup for Flame, and I think this is a pretty easy decision. I don't think there's too much to really think about because she's the only Flame simulacrum that we have. coming next, and we don't know what's going to be coming after Fenrir. So that's who you should just be focusing on. Grab Annabella, and if there is a flame character that's coming after Fenrir, once again, you should have enough time to save and then be able to get whatever flame character is coming next, right? Now let's go ahead and talk about the Frost comp. Frost comp's going to be very interesting as well. We have Frigg, Saki was the most recent one, Coco Ritter, Meryl, Tsubasa. Now the Frost team is very stacked, very strong. I would know, I'm a Frost main, and I think the core part is Saki, Frigg, and then it just really depends on what you're third slotting, right? Whether it be Tsubasa for the buffs, Meryl for tanking, Lyn you might have grabbed and put in there. Now me personally, I prefer Lyn over Tsubasa, even at A0 over A6 Tsubasa, just because of gameplay wise, the intangibles that she brings to the table. I just prefer Lyn. So for me, it's a Lyn, Saki, and Frigg. And then of course in this case you're going to be waiting for Alice. Now if you're still on the fence of whether you should be going for Lyn or not, and you haven't gone for Saki as well because both their banners are up right now, if you're a Frost main, you should be focusing on Saki. Probably skip Lyn and then focus for Alice. And I think you can make up a team that's really strong of Alice, Saki, and Frigg if you have Frigg, or even Alice, Saki, and Tsubasa if you have Tsubasa. I don't think you necessarily need Lyn per se. I think you can skip. I think Alice is going to be the main focus for you. And if you haven't had the chance to grab Saki yet, grab Saki. And I think that is going to be a good team for your Frost. I don't think Lyn is necessarily needed for that team for the most part, right? I think if you're free to play or light spending, you grab Saki, you have Frigg already, and you go Alice, or you have Alice, or you focus on Alice, you have Saki or grab Saki, and then you use Tsubasa for the A6, right? And then you have that team. And I think that's going to work out perfectly fine. So that is just my thought process on what you guys should be focusing on, what you guys should be prioritizing, and what you can be looking forward to in the future for Global Tower Fantasy. So anyways, in the comments down below, let me know your guys' thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. I'm interested to see what you have to say, and I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. My name is Cody, but you can call me Further. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.